Hello everyone, welcome to Jolly Molly TV. Today, are you ready to do another block in Hatched in Africa's Tiffany Prancer reindeer wall hanging? I am, and today we're going to do block number 6, which is going to be this one right over here. We'll get to finish his scarf. So let's go ahead and grab your top fabric, your mylar if you're choosing to use it, your lining fabric, and your thin batting, and let's go over to the machine and get started. All right, we are at the machine. I have my 8x12 hoop filled with a sheet of that water-soluble stabilizer, and I have white bobbin thread down below, and I have white thread up at the top of the machine. So we are getting ready to stitch out the next block. You're getting confident with this, huh? Yeah, it's really not that hard once you do a couple blocks, then you kind of get in a rhythm. So you got this. Let's go to the screen and let's load the design. I have a Brother Dream machine just for reference. So let's go to Embroidery. All the files are on my flash drive. So I'm going to go to my flash drive and go to my folder Prancer where I have them. And we are now working on block number 6. You're getting there, huh? Doing good. Click Set and Embroidery because we don't have to do anything to it. So very easy. We are ready to go back to the hoop cam. And let's put the foot down and let's stitch out the placement line for the batting. Okay, so now we're going to lay the batting down. It's a little wrinkled on one side. I'm not going to worry about it because I could just press that out with my hand. And let's tack down the batting. White thread still on top. Okay, so let's take the hoop off the machine. Let's go over to the table and let's trim away this excess batting. Okay, so now we're ready to grab our top fabric and we're going to put this down. Make sure you got right sides up. The bottom side is where your fusible is. So right sides up. Center it around. That looks good. And then grab your mylar if you're using mylar in this project. And we're going to go ahead and put that right down. Whoops. On the sides. Again, I can feel the batting here and here, and the batting here and here, so we are good to go. So foot down, white thread still on the top of the machine. Let's tack down the fabric and the mylar. You're getting good at this. Okay, we ready to go? All right, if you look at the instructions for this block, all right, it's 33,075 stitches total. And we are on step 4. Step 4 is missing from the instructions. Step 4 is to put your pewter number 1177 in the top because it's going to stitch out the stained glass lead lines in the block. It's usually the first thing it does when we start stitching is it does the lead lines. And so if you're missing number 4 or step 4 on the instructions, put pewter 1177 in the top of your machine. Then step 5 will be lavender. All right, so just write on your instructions as well. So just in case you make another one of these, that you know that that step is there. Step 4 is pewter, 1177. All right, so let's get going stitching on this. Just like in the other videos, we're going to fast forward through this, but every time I change a thread, I'm going to put it in the bottom of the screen down below so you know that there is a color change into which thread to put in. All right, let's get stitching. All right, isn't that gorgeous? Okay, we're not done yet. We're going to take the hoop off the machine. We're going to very carefully turn it upside down so we can see the back side of the hoop. And we're going to take our lining fabric or our backing, make sure we got right sides up, and we're just going to place it surrounding the back line here. Real easy to do. And then we're going to tape it down with some embroidery tape. Now I'm using this Kimberbell paper tape. It's really good tape because it holds, but not too tight, and it doesn't gum up your needle or gum up the back of the machine or the hoop as it's going back and forth. So it's just enough to keep it down. Then I use my hand to make sure that the corners are nice and flat as I put it back on the machine bed, and I slide the hoop back on, stick my hand under, yep, that's flat, and put the hoop back on the machine. Okay, so now we're going to do a tack down stitch. You can leave the pewter thread up on top, and we're going to tack down that lining fabric on the back side. Okay, so foot down, here we go. All right, perfect. So now we're going to take the hoop off the machine, and we're going to take this over to the table, and I want you to trim away the excess fabric and the mylar on the front and the excess fabric on the back side. Let's go. All right, we're back at the machine, and now I'm going to switch out my bobbin down below for a bobbin with some of the pewter thread. I think this will be just enough, I hope, to get through the satin stitch on the outline of this block. You want your top thread and your bobbin thread to match so that it'll give a nice, clean satin stitch on this. Your back will look as good as the front side does. All right, let's go ahead and stitch this out. It's about a 13-minute in real life stitch out, and then we're almost done. All right, let's go. Okay, I'm stopping at this point on the corner. I'm going to cut my thread. And the reason being why I am stopping right here is that I am basically out of thread. Okay, when you're doing a satin stitch, it's a little bit easier to stop here at a corner when you're doing a new thread with satin stitches, because if you start out here, it's a little bit more noticeable because you're going to overlap a few stitches when you start up your new thread. But if you do it at a corner, it's not that noticeable. So you see, I am basically down to almost nothing. So that's what's left of that. So I'm going to put a new spool up on top, and I'm going to go back about 10 stitches on my machine, and then I'm going to start back up again. Okay, so when you're dealing with satin stitches, it just looks a little bit nicer if you can stop at a corner and start a new spool versus in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to go back on my machine here. Oops, there we go. Going to hit the plus and minus button, and I'm going to go back about 10 stitches. Actually, I'm going to go back 20. Just a little bit more. There you go. That'll look good. Click OK and go back to the hoop cam. Yeah, 20 will look nice. And thread my needle. Thank you for your service, thread. You're good. And away we go. Yay! You did it! Look at how pretty that is. Just love the way it finishes up. And see, because it's on the corner, you don't even know it's there. I love it. All right, let's take the hoop off the machine, take this over to the table, and let's finish up this block. Isn't this gorgeous? I know I say that a lot, but this project is stunning. Every block is just prettier and prettier as we go along. All right, so the first thing we want to do with this is we want to trim away the excess of this water-soluble stabilizer. Leave about 1/4 inch around the outside edge, so just close enough that you don't nick those satin stitches, because that would not be good. You would probably have to redo the block all over again, so we don't want to do that. So leave about 1/4 inch. Trim around the outside edge, all 4 sides, and we will be taking this little 1/4 inch worth of water-soluble stabilizer off at the end after we have all the blocks done. I tend to like to do that process all at once, and I'll walk you through how to do it at that point. So we just want to get the excess of this away so we can look at the prettiness of the block. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our curved or bent scissors, and we're going to be taking away the mylar out of each of these open sections where the stained glass doesn't have any stitches. Okay, all we're going to do is we're going to put our scissor in under the mylar but above the fabric, and then using the table We're going to press down a little bit, and then we're going to let the blade kind of do the leverage of separating the mylar from the stitches. All right, lift up, and then once I have two sides done, I can very easily tear the rest of the mylar away and clean that section up. Now this mylar has static electricity properties. So what I do, just as I'm doing it real quick, I'll put it down and I use the scissors to kind of separate it off of me so I can move on to the next section. Okay, so we're just going to do that for all of these sections. Again, just go under and just use the blade to help you separate the mylar from the stitches. You don't really have to cut. Once in a while in a corner you might have to. And then you can easily tear away the rest of it and then tack it down. See, in the corner sometimes you gotta cut to get that piece. All right? Okay, so let's go ahead, take the mylar off the rest of the pieces, and I'll meet you back here when it's done. We got it. My little spitzer bottle, so I can easily manage all that. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Another beautiful block. You did it. Okay. Well, let's take a look at what we've done so far in this amazing project. Let's see, that one goes there. And Prancer in the middle. And then look at that. Okay, I can move it down just a little bit. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? And don't you just love it? I sure the heck do. This is beautiful. Okay, well, I hope you had as much fun today making this block as I did. And I hope you subscribe to my channel. That helps me do what I do, and I truly appreciate that. And click the bell notifications. That way you won't miss out when I upload a video. And click the like button too, because YouTube likes to see if people are liking the videos. So I hope you had a blast today making this and are excited as I am to make the next block. So stay tuned. Come back here again on Jolly Molly TV. And we'll make another block in this amazing project. Until then, take care everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye.